It's me. It's Laurie. Welcome to the second episode of Laurie Loves Dogs. I'm just waiting for my guest today, Bonnie Guilliano, to get on the line, and then we can start. This is Finny. He's my special guest star today. Okay, Finny, go on over there. No, Mommy's got stuff to do. Oh. Okay. Hello.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Bonnie. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I know, I'm excited to have you. So just so you know, the door's open, so any dog can enter at any time. So just a fair warning.
Okay.
So before we get started, I wanted to just say congratulations to you. I understand you have a new member of your family.
We do, Jewel, and where are they? They're in the other room, of course. But yeah, so we've had Cash, our first dog, for, well, I'm gonna show you. So we've had Cash for 3 years now, and he's 5 years old. And we just thought he needed some company. I don't think I can turn this around, but this is Cash over here. Hey, baby. Hello.
Oh my God, so cute.
And here comes Jewel.
Oh, no. Are they from the same rescue?
No, they're from totally different rescues. Cash was rescued from Alabama.
Wow.
And Jewel was just rescued from Georgia. And they look alike because my husband had to have matching dogs, but they're totally different breeds. But it's so fun having two dogs.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
one. I've never had two before. And I could just watch all day. They're just so fun, right? On your side.
I have 4, so it's fun, but you know,
Yeah.
fun, but a lot of work. So, but congratulations, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you for rescuing him. So, okay, so.
She's been with us for like 2 weeks so far.
Oh, that went fast.
And she's very comfortable and having a good time.
Yeah, she does. She looks like from the videos that she never was not there. Do you know what I mean? Like she's like she belonged there. You know what I mean? Like it was meant to be. I think.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna tell everybody a little bit about you. So you are an actress, a fitness guru. You were the founder, or still am the founder of Bonstar Fitness and Bonstar Living. And your great new venture is you're a health and wellness educator for young living essential oils, right?
Yep. Did you call me an accountant?
No.
Did you say accountant?
No, I didn't. I think I called you a educator, a guru, a fitness guru. That's a good thing to say.
Definitely not an accountant, just in case anyone else heard that. I don't know why I did.
Oh, no. God, no. Called you an actress.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
And my partner in crime in geometry class, geography class in high school. So
yes,
good times.
Mr. Schraft, good old Mr. Schraft.
Poor guy. All right, so tell me a little bit, because I really don't know much about this. So tell me a little bit what essential oils are.
So essential oils are taken from plants. They can be taken from the petal of a flower, the stem, the root, the branches, the pine needles, whatever part of the plant, and you take that part, and there's 2 different ways to get the essential oil from the plant. One is to steam distill it, and the other is to cold press it. So the citrus oils, for example, are cold pressed. They take the rind of the fruit and they cold press it, and they get the oil that way. And the other oils are steam distilled. So the oil will rise from the water during the steam distilling process, and then that oil is taken and put through tons and tons of testing, and to make sure that it maintains all of the constituents that it should have, and that should be all the constituents that it had when it was inside the plant is all the constituents that it should have when it's inside our bottle of oil. So lots of testing goes on to make sure that that happens, to make sure that what you're getting in the bottle is exactly what's coming from the plant and nothing extra.
Is the constituent like the benefits? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Is that the same thing?
so every essential oil it can have anywhere from 80 to 300 different constituents, and that's kind of like the properties. And a lot of them, they're 100 to 10,000 times more powerful than their plant form. They're super, super concentrated. So each molecule in an essential oil is so, so super tiny. I mean, it can get into, once applied topically or even inhaled, you can, or taken internally, because those are the 3 different ways to use them. They can reach every cell in your body within 20 something minutes. Every cell in your body. They get to your system really fast. And they've been around for a long time. I mean, this is like, essential oils ain't nothing new, but because holistic and alternative medicine is so much more talked about these days than they were like back in the day, they're getting a lot more press, which is awesome. And they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. So now it's just about educating and knowing how to use them, when to use them, and knowing the quality of your oils is super important, because that's where people get into a lot of trouble. Because the problem is that there's no FDA regulations on oil. So you can get a bottle of oil. Like I've actually, there's some wrestling going on. Do you hear that?
He's supporting you.
Wrestling going on over there. So I've actually seen a testing of a lavender essential oil that was ordered off of Amazon and put through these big machines. They're called GCMS machines. Put through the machines, and by the end it got tested. It had absolutely zero amount of real essential oil in the bottle. It was all synthetic. And that's when people get into problems, because even though there was no real oil in the bottle, it can still say 100% pure. That's the problem. So whenever you're dealing with essential oils, you want to make sure you know the company you're getting them from. You have to do your research. You have to, because things like that can happen where it can say 100% pure and it's not. Know the company. Do they own their own farms? What are their farming practices? What are their standards? Can you go visit the farms? It should be open door policy. How long has the company been around? So those are just some of the questions to kind of ask yourself. And it's definitely one of those things where you just do not want to go to the drugstore and get your oils. And the same thing goes with supplements and vitamins. I mean, I've been studying this for over 10 years now, as far as the supplement and vitamin industry is just like so sad. And you can get supplements and you can go down to Rite Aid, and I love Rite Aid. I go to Rite Aid. There's Rite Aid here. I go almost every day. But I will not buy my vitamins from a drugstore because they're not real. They're made cheaply. The ingredients in them are not going to help you. They're going to go right through your body. There's 4 different kinds of vitamin B, and one of them is going to be, I didn't even plan on talking about this, but I don't have the information in front of me. There's 4 different types of vitamin B. And if you go into your drugstore and flip over the bottle, vitamin B,
I'm listening.
My dogs are barking because they heard your dog.
They're very upset. Go ahead.
But anyway, I guarantee you that when you flip over the bottle of the vitamin B you get in the drugstore, okay. They're all the way in New Jersey. What are you going to do? I guarantee you that it's all going to be this one form of vitamin vitamin B that starts with a C. It's like cyanide, something, right? That is a synthetic form, not going to be easily absorbed by the body. You're basically just throwing your money out the window. The kind of vitamin B you want, it starts with an M, and there are these long words. I don't have this memorized, but starts with an M. It's like menthol something. You're only going to find that kind of vitamin B if you go to a health food store, or if you do your research and find a company that makes that kind. Otherwise, you're just throwing your money out the window. So there's a lot of, unfortunately, with labeling and stuff. And the same thing is with food. I mean, you know, in certain foods, if there's less than a certain percentage of an ingredient, they don't have to put it on the label.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. So you want to know your food source, know where your food is coming from. I mean,
So what, Bonnie, I'm sorry, how can I, like, if I wanted to use some type of essential oils on my dogs, how does essential oils help with, like, dogs, with animals? Or can it?
So it totally can. And the benefits of using a modality like essential oils with your animals on your dog is that it's if you know it's safe, it's non-toxic, and there's always some sort of emotional component when you're using essential oils. So no matter if you're treating like something like a hot spot, or you might be working with a physical ailment, but there's always going to be an emotional component that's going to come from working with an oil. So that's kind of an extra benefit. Also, we benefit if we're using essential oils on our dogs, we're benefiting from it as humans, because we should be using anything that we use in our home as far as like cleaners go, furniture, carpet cleaners, air fresheners.
Air fresheners, yeah.
Yes, candles, all that stuff. We breathe it in, but so do they. And the thing about dogs is that, and I wrote this down, where did I write it? Okay, they have 220 million olfactory receptors within a dog's nasal cavity. And that's a lot more than we have. And so if we're breathing it in and it's affecting our hormone system and endocrine system and all that, allergies in our skin, imagine what it's doing to our animal if they can take in that much more, because they have that much more receptors in their nasal cavity. So like, we should have said this in the beginning. I'm not a vet. I'm not a doctor. I'm just an educator.
Right.
So I'm not an expert, but
not an accountant either. I said it right here.
And I'm not an accountant.
I didn't say that.
It's just education, and knowledge is power. So there you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So whatever we use in our home is going to affect everyone that's in the home. So the ways you can use them with the animals are different applications is you can pet them, because when you just simply put some oils on your hands and just pet down their back, down their spine, it gets absorbed into their hair follicles, will bring it into their bloodstream. So you don't have to separate the hair and make sure you get it on the skin. You can just gently pet your animal. They'll get absorption that way. They can take them, depending on, there's all sorts of dilution ratios. So you want to make sure you know the dilution ratio for your weight and your size of your animal. And there's all that information is out there. What people get into trouble is when they use essential oils that are not really pure. They might say pure on the bottle, but they're not. And also they're not following the instructions. So, I mean, you overdose on water, for God's sake.
So if let's say I wanted to put, Finny just walked in. So let's just say I wanted to put oil on Finny to calm him down from fireworks or loud noises or something. Is it in its purest form? Do I just take a drop and I put it on that way? Do I have to dilute it? How would I do that?
Well, first you would take into account how much Finny
weighs. Okay.
Right. And then you can find a dilution chart, or there's all sorts, I have this great essential oils animal desk reference. That is awesome. This has information on every animal. It's got horses, it's got birds and reptiles and cats and dogs in here. So I would consult my book, but there's also tons of information online. So you'd make sure you want to have some sort of reference, some sort of guidance. And that's what's cool when you're using any kind of alternative therapies, to be part of some sort of community that you can go to for some guidance, right? Or if you have a holistic or integrative medicine vet, that would be amazing. They're hard to find.
Yeah.
But really cool too. So anyway, first you would look at your dilution chart for Finny's weight. So Jewel, for example, Jewel weighs 48 pounds. So I know that when we got her, she was a little anxious like the first couple days, and she was pacing around the house, just constantly pacing around the house. So I have this oil called Peace and Calming. And so all I did was put first what you do is you want to make sure that your animal is okay with the oil. Because imagine if you hated the smell of something and then somebody just came over to you and just like slathered your face with it. You'd be like, what? No, you'd be pissed. So you always want to make sure the animal is going to be okay with the oil. So what I do is I take the cap off and I just let her smell it and see what her reaction is. And she smelled it and she sat there. Now, if she would have fled to the other room, then there's no way I would have ever used this oil on her because she doesn't like it. So listen to your animals, what they're saying, how they react. So if she liked it, so what I did is I just put 2 drops in the palm of my hand, and then I just rub my hands together, and then I just pet her back a few times. Very gently. That's all I did. And then within like 3 minutes, she was just laying down and just totally chilling out. And I also did that in the diffuser too, because we have a diffuser. And I put, one day I put 6 drops in the diffuser. And I just sat in the chair and I waited. She was pacing and pacing around. And again, it was like about 3 minutes and she just laid down. So what's cool is that because each oil has anywhere from like 80 to 300 different constituents, right? They share a lot of the same constituents. So there's not just one oil that I can use for anxiety or there's a whole handful. So if she didn't like Peace and Calming, I might try something like lavender, or I might try something like Stress Away. These are oils that have constituents in them that are very calming and relaxing. And there's other ones too. Citrus Fresh I could try. So there's different ones you can try. And that goes the same with humans. Just because, you know, lavender, some people like to go to sleep to lavender. It's very calming and relaxing. I don't. It smells like flowers and it's not relaxing to me. Makes me want to go shopping or something. I don't know. But I like other ones. There's ones like cedarwood and vetiver, the more woodsy ones. Those are the ones that are more relaxing to me. So everybody's different and every dog is different.
Is there any one that you can't use? Is there anything, any oil that would be toxic or in any way dangerous, or is there any one that you simply just can't use on a dog?
So if you're getting your oils from a company that their oils are true and pure and it's real oil in the bottle, there's no synthetic, you know, ingredients. There really are, as far as my studies have gone, there are no oils that you cannot use. However, the dilutions of certain oils are really, really important. And certain oils need to be diluted a lot if that's the oil you're choosing to use with your dog for whatever situation. Okay, so, and that being said, some people might say, well, if it's that important that that oil needs to be diluted that much, then I don't even want to be bothered. I'm not even going to use that oil. Let's not even have it in the house. Let's not even use it, which is fine. You don't need it. You know why? Because there's going to be a handful of other oils that share the same constituents that you'll be able to choose from, that you don't have to be so specific about the dilution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there are certain oils, I mean, and it depends on the animals too. I mean, like cats cannot, they're missing an enzyme in their liver where they can't process certain constituents of certain oils, but dogs have that enzyme. So you can use certain oils more with dogs than you can with cats. And if you're going to use those certain oils with cats, they have to be really, really like 70 to 90% dilution.
Wow.
In order to use them. So some people just choose those specific oils. I just don't even want to use with my cat at all because I don't want to be bothered and nervous about 70 to 90% dilution.
Right, it's not worth it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where having good reference material and a good, you know, being part of a community that can guide you and help you. So Dr. Melissa Shelton, she's got a website called oilyvet.com. She's a great resource. And there's also Nedra Abramson, who's someone that I go to a lot. She's got a Facebook group that people that are in my wellness community and my team, we use a lot. And she, her website is called ReikiForAllCreatures.com. ReikiForAllCreatures.com.
Okay.
And she's a Reiki master, but she also uses reflexology, crystals, acupressure, essential oils, and tuning forks and all for animals. And she has a Facebook group that she will give her expert advice on certain recipes for whatever you're dealing with, and dilution charts can be found there and stuff. So
Wow, that's
you have
awesome.
help and guidance. Yeah.
So, and besides the anxiety, what other things could you use essential oils for on dogs? So, besides just my dog is anxious, what other things could I do with them to help them?
Well, one of the biggest things we use around here, because I live in Columbia County, which is like the tick capital of the world, I make a tick spray for my pets. So I double it up with the Seresto collar, but like the Seresto collar alone is not enough around here.
Yeah.
And I feel like the essential oil spray alone would be enough because it's that bad. So instead of having them on the Seresto plus another like pill or something they need to take, I'm doing the Seresto plus a tick spray. So and there's so many different recipes for a tick repellent, and but I just researched, and I like the one that I use, but there's so many other different recipes out there too, so you could find a ton of others. But mine has, I wrote it down so that I could share it with you guys, and I like to make it in a batch. And then what I'll do is I'll just fill up a spray bottle and take it hiking with us or whatever. And the cool thing about this is I can use it on them and I can use it on me too.
Awesome.
And I do. So like spray their legs, and then I'll spray my legs, and I'll spray my entire body. So, but also before I do that, I will spray some in my hand, and I'll make sure that my dogs are okay with the scent in this recipe that I put together. Because if they hate it, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to force it on them. You know what I'm saying? And that's so important. So my recipe, I'll share with you guys. Oh my gosh. Did I write? Okay, I did. Okay, so in here I have geranium and palo santo. I have peppermint and eucalyptus radiata. So those 4 essential oils, and then I have a carrier oil in here, sweet almond oil. So it's reading. It's that's in here. And then some alcohol-free witch hazel just to act as an emulsifier, because oils will float on the top of water. So sometimes you throw in some witch hazel just to kind of mix it around. Or you can just shake it real good. You just shake it real good before you spray it. Another tip on if you're going to make yourself a spray, you want to make sure you're using a glass bottle or like a stainless steel spray bottle, because essential oils will break down plastic unless you're using like a medical grade plastic. If you're just using a regular plastic container, it'll leach out the petrochemicals in plastic. So even when you're drinking water out of glass, make sure if you're putting oil in there, make sure you're using glass or metal.
Wow, I didn't know that. So it'll leak into the product if you use
It'll
plastic?
pull the petrochemicals out of the plastic, and then drinking that or spraying that on your body, and you don't want that. So use these guys. But something else that's cool to make is like I have an ant spray here, which is just, I filled it with water, and then I put in like 30 drops of peppermint oil, which works amazing as an ant repellent, and it's also great for stink bugs. But if I were to go to the store and I were to get some sort of bug spray, my dogs are going to be breathing that in, and they have 220 million, what did I say, olfactory, receptors in there. That's strong for them to be breathing that stuff in. And that's no good for me to breathe in. So I can't even imagine how bad it is for them to breathe that in. If I'm just spraying peppermint oil in water, that's not a danger to anybody, right? So
we had skunks last year, and we had to, maybe 2 years ago, and we used just like a black pepper, something. and it was just too strong. So Molly had to go to the hospital because it actually burned her. It had other chemicals too, not just black pepper. But what wound up happening is that Molly inhaled it outside, and we wound up having to take her to the hospital, and it burned her nasal passages and her throat. So if we had said something like this, like peppermint, that's
Oh,
harmless. Do you know what I mean? But she was really sick
yes.
from the chemicals and the intensity of the black pepper. Plus, I wouldn't use it anyway now because I know it's inhumane. Do you know what I mean? So this way, the peppermint is just a deterrent, right? It's not,
It's a deterrent,
harmful.
exactly. It's a
Yeah,
great deterrent.
that's awesome. I would use that.
I'm seeing Teresa's comment. She said she went to Rite Aid and she got one. All right, girl. See, I do go to Rite Aid.
Hi,
I got
Nicole.
my
I
$2
see you.
spray bottle from Rite Aid, and I told Teresa about it, and she went and got one.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome. I had no idea about the plastic. That's a really good tip. So what else can you use besides the flea and tick? Is there anything else that, like, what about hot spots or things like when they get those patches? Could they help with that, or arthritis?
You can totally make your own salve. Like, you can get some coconut oil, and you can add some oils that are good for that, or like lavender, frankincense, copaiba are all great oils that support your skin and healing. So you could make your dog a little salve. You get a little metal container or a glass bowl. And again, check your dilution rates. Or, I mean, if you have a book like this, there's recipes right in here that you could just simply follow, or you go to someone like Nedra Abramson, and she can guide you. And you can make your own salve for a hot spot, which is great. Now, Cash did have a hot spot, and I tried to make one of those for him, but he loves coconut oil, so he just kept licking it, and I was like, no. So you might need another carrier oil, but you'll find one that works with your animal. And did you know also that dogs can have, like, it's good to give your dog a probiotic also. So probiotics, my vet just prescribed my dog a probiotic, and the ingredients were not on the box, but I went to the website and I looked at the ingredients. You know what one of the ingredients is?
What?
Sugar. Why? Why is there sugar in a probiotic, first of all? Like, it's just so, and that wasn't even on the box. I had to.
And that's from a vet? That was from your vet? Your veterinarian? Wow, because sugar is like a cancer, right, for dogs. They shouldn't even be having that, right? Oh, cancer causing.
At all. And I mean, my vet doesn't want to kill my dogs. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just what they learn in their vet school or whatever. And it's just like, it just comes down to doing your own research on yourself and your animals, and so that you can just make a more educated decision. That's all. It's not about, like, judging anybody or coming down on someone for doing something. It's just, you just want to spread the word, and so people can just raise awareness about, looking into what they're giving their animals and what they're giving themselves too, because everything gets into your system and needs to be
choices. I mean, you have to. I mean, Western medicine is great. Convenience and picking something up at a store is great, but it's good to have options. I mean, it's really important to be educated and to know what you're buying, ingesting, breathing, and if there's alternatives available that you can use that are just as effective and maybe more humane, more environmentally friendly, more safer. I mean, should know about that. I mean, it's really important to know about that for you and your pets and your family, so.
For sure. Oh, and look, Kelly says you can use aloe vera for quicker absorption. It will reduce licking instead of the coconut oil. So listen, Kelly, you need to interview her and do an episode with her. So Kelly LaGrada, she lives in Florida, and she uses PEMF therapy on animals, and she uses essential oils with that. And it's this amazing electromagnetic healing device that you put on animals, and she works with them all day long. And that would be a great interview for you.
Hook me up, Bonnie. Hook me up. So if anybody wanted to find out a little bit more about Young Living Essential Oils or you, where could they find you? Where could we get your information?
So you can, well, I'm on Facebook as Bonnie and Giuliano, and you can also email me at bonstar22@gmail.com. Bond, BONSTAR, and then the number 22@gmail.com. And yeah, I work with Young Living because I've studied their practices, I've studied their standards. I'm actually going to visit their lavender farm, their main lavender farm in Utah in June of this summer. And anybody can go visit their farm. So if any of y'all want to come with me, let's go. So I know the company, I don't know what it stands for. I know what are in, these bottles is just oil. So I trust it. And it's been really helpful. I've been using these oils for just over a year now in my home, on my family, and now occasionally with my dogs, and it's been wonderful. So yeah, I'm really happy that I found something that I can feel safe. Also suggesting to my clients, because I'm a personal trainer, and I was just looking for something that I felt really good about that I could suggest to my clients. Something that wasn't going to have any kind of side effects or just like weird additives or anything. And I feel like I found it when I found Young Living. So that's why I chose to work with them.
Right. Well, you sound really passionate about it. I mean, I did not know any of this stuff, so I'm really glad that you came on. I'm glad to talk to you. This is so cool. And I learned a lot. I'm definitely going to try the peppermint thing. Because we get skunks here every year, and we don't know what to do. And I'm not trapping them, and I'm not going to have an exterminator come in. So that's actually a very good option. So I'm definitely going to try that. So thank you. So thank you for coming and being on my show.
I know, it's so exciting. Congratulations to you. I just want to congratulate you, girl, for, I know you've been thinking about this for a while, and you just jumped in and you're doing it, and it's so fun. And I saw your first interview of the adoption shelter, and you were talking about that one dog, and she was, what was that dog's name? She was so
Scarlet,
sweet.
and she got adopted.
Oh my God!
She got adopted. Yeah, it was bananas. So awesome. Yeah, to a good family.
Oh,
yep.
awesome. So this is going to be a really great show, and it's going to raise a lot of awareness and just spread education on whatever you're talking about. So congratulations.
Aw, you're the best. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm signing off. So again, thank you so much, Bonnie, and everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time on Laurie Loves Dogs. Thanks, Bonnie.
Bye, guys.